Welcome back to Gintama, where there's hopefully, well, not many more beetles, and at least if there is, you can keep away the Shinsengumi, and also lock away the honey. As if I needed more reasons to dislike honey than I already do, so that's a thing. But as you know, it's Gintama. Anything can happen, and there might be a message behind it, who knows? The only important thing is, well, let's try to maintain a little bit of dignity. It's difficult though. Let's see why. Yes, there have been some shows where the main character does die, although they don't stay dead all too often. And if any of you have seen Supernatural, death is more like a revolving door in that show. And also, I wonder if the Shinsengumi actually had to follow through on the punishment for another mission failed. There are many characters that I've kind of seen and don't know if I want to have more of a story about them, especially after seeing the ship captain once again and then having to hear his laugh in my nightmares. Yeah, the sign doesn't look that appealing. So he's not branching out to cover any more products. He has needed to keep his sword close quite a lot though, hasn't he? I was one to take up the switch over to digital quite readily. And I never owned a black and white TV. I'm not quite that old. You can see what its clientele is like. At least it's not like some other shows where they're literally just across the street. Well, we can see where his priorities lie. Great. Run! Try to escape, Kentucky. I don't want to see that kind of storyline. Hey! Flower guy. Were you invited along? I don't know if the waitresses are paid enough to deal with infiltration by spies. One of the rare occurrences when he's not drunk. Kentucky is in heaven. There are actually some takeaways around here which only deal in desserts. Never use them, but after this, I might have a look. I don't think it is quite that type of establishment. My tastes have slightly changed. Whereas I've been trying to cut down on sugar in like things like tea and whatnot, but incredibly sweet desserts are still delicious. Time to put on the act then, is it? So is he trying to put them out of business? I'm sure even with the change of cultures, there is going to be a slight market for retro stuff. I say retro, but still, especially if there any festivals or anything gets held. That is a long-owned family store. Does there have to be this kind of animosity, though? It's not like the Dango store is threatening his, so why is he so hell bent on putting him out of business? Hmm. It's it's strange to see Gintoki taking up this kind of job, considering how much he does enjoy his sweets. Is this televised as well? To think it would draw this kind of crowd. Well, it's probably only because of one of the competitors. Yep, no one cares. I wonder if this is the first time that some people have even heard of the store. So is Andromeda just a really good store, or is it a massive chain as well? I feel like you should have at least put a proper barrier and lines in place first. Sure. So who's gonna come over and completely devour all of the traditional dango? I think we found our champion. No, it's not you, Gintoki. All it does take though is a few people. You're not going to charge us after. Yeah, all it will take is a few people seemingly enjoying it to draw the attention of some others thinking, maybe I'll give it a go. Well, that was a short break. Let the competition begin. But the thing is, because it's so kind of disorganized. Yeah, I didn't get that reference. Why are you a judge or just any part of like having to talk about anything? What is his credentials? Very insightful. Was Kagura moving so fast there that I didn't even see it? Was she really savouring? It's free. Yeah. Those plate clearers are going to be working overtime. And with them being on the floor and not eaten, I'm guessing they don't particularly count. It's less for your shot, more free food, I'm guessing. Wait, why was Jason in the crowd? Wow, you have a lot of kids, mate. Probably why they. It seems like you can't afford to look after them all to the best degree that you're supposed to. Sorry, we're sold out. Kentucky. I'm not entirely sure the Gintoki is above drop kicking the children as well. Okay, is that meant to be something or other? Do you? Yeah, actually, of course, she has time to try out different foods as well. Do you really think she's going to fill herself up with rice, though? And how are we going to be disappointed with Shinpachi? Sure, but doesn't it impede with their ability? Overruled. Dangodon. Not sure about that. Are you just putting them in? Yeah, take them home. In that case, bring a wheelbarrow. Fill up properly. I mean, takeout should be against the rules, technically. But if it is just to sell the most, then maybe it isn't. Depends what the rules say about. Is it how many taken versus how many eaten? Okay. I thought you were just going to eat the wood as well. You gotta eat when you can. There are their limits. Maybe if you hadn't fought off everyone else to keep it all to yourselves. um, it's I guess, a good method, like a conveyor belt. Isn't this against the rules? Gotta eat when you can. Overruled. Even with the massive amount of calories and whatnot that sumo wrestlers and the like eat, there is a limit when it is a singular type of food constantly, especially if it's sweetened. She's fallen and she can't get up. I think the worst atrocity about it is the rice is on the floor. It's not like. Well, I guess it is a battlefield. The doctor told you not to. It's good they're bringing that up again. I think, when was that mentioned? Right at the beginning? I wonder if Gintoki himself would be so fervent in eating if he tasted the Andromeda ones. How long is Gintoki's sugar coma gonna last? What do the rules say about having to keep food down? But Gintoki himself has eaten a lot more than the sumos because they came in later. Has he paid for any of his visits though? Try to keep it in your mouth. Oh no. No. He's a. He can't defend himself. Are you regretting fighting so hard? Other than keeping the shop open, was there anything for Gintoki to gain from that? Well, and of course the near unlimited free dango, but still. I I am almost speechless. I've watched professional eating and competitive eating and whatnot. But why does it take Gintama to put me off food? I lie, of course, because it would take a lot more than that to put me off, but still. Kagura went down far too easily. I would have thought she would have eaten through the pain, even if it cost her her eyes. Perfect. And if you too have an unhealthy addiction to sweets, I hope you're not put off for good either. And also, while we're at it, what's your favourite kind of treat? Let me know down below. Personally, I really like mint or cinnamon, so anything with those kind of really works. But one thing I can eat an ungodly amount of, even though it is almost pure sugar, and I don't even know the name of, just the mint cakes. It's just sugar with mint extract mixed together. Done. I can feel myself needing insulin just thinking about it. But still, hopefully you enjoyed Gintama, and if you did, let me know by liking the video. And also, if you want to make sure to never miss anything in the future, subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications can really help you out. But I know that all of you still here are definitely up for more. If you want to, you can get some rest, but make sure to come again. And if you too feel like being a sugary coated delight, then consider becoming a patron as well. But of course I already have to thank those who are, at the moment, giving me cavities. So to Flordotaku, Sal, Raywin, Aegis TR, Dynamite 1997, Lewis Almanza, Aisha M, Danny Tree, Daniel Jorgensen, ASD, and everyone else. Maybe I shouldn't be thanking at this point, but still, I do appreciate it.